This week on Thing Cooks, episode 61, Sous Vide. We're cooking a porterhouse steak. Sous vide, 2 hours. Should be medium rare. With chips, pepper sauce, and our tobacco onions. For Thing Cooks, episode 61. So, sous vide steak. We're worrying about sous vide for the next 10 episodes. It's great, you'll love it. So we need chips, we're going to do some chips on the side, some pepper sauce, and some tobacco onions. So, let's go. Sous vide is something that I've had for a long time. It's pulled me out of many holes, especially cooking in smaller kitchens. When you want to cook for a lot of people in a small kitchen, sous vide is the way forward. It is foolproof, it is great. So we're going to kick off. We're doing this. Look at this, huh? Look at that big steak. That is where we are starting. So we're going to do it big. Now, this steak has been dry brining for 24 hours. So we'll put a little bit of salt on it, a little bit of pepper, some butter, garlic and rosemary, and then we're going to vacuum seal it in our backpack here, and then into our sous vide here. So your basic sous vide setup, you're going to need vacuum sealer, vacuum bag, and your sous vide. So what we're going to do, lightly salt, lightly pepper, everything into the bag, and everything into here. Just a tiny bit, not a lot, just a little bit over the top. I'll give that a flip and see it again. Now when you are working with sous vide, you want to try and keep your seasoning lighter. Simple reason being, what you are cooking in, you're cooking in a food safe plastic bag, right? So say a food safe plastic bag, that's exactly what it is, a food safe plastic bag. It holds everything in. You will not lose any of the juices. If you think about when you cook in an oven or an air fryer, you lose so much of the juice. Even a frying pan, same. This, you don't. The juices are in the bag. And anything that comes out, you can just push back in. You can put that back into the sauce if you want, straight away after. Whenever you're doing this, I roll the neck of the bag back. That way you get a clean seal if it doesn't clean it. Again, as always, our meat is coming from Victor at the Cool Shop. Hit him up on WeChat. Very good man to know. So this is bone in. So we will just lift the bone in. In she goes. Now, the great thing with sous vide is it takes time. This will take about 2 hours. We're at 130 degrees Fahrenheit, it's about 54 degrees Celsius, and it cooks for about 2 hours. The great thing with this is you can never overcook it. It will get in this water, it will stay at that temperature until it is done. That's what I love about sous vide. In the past, I did a party and we were doing pork ribs. And I cooked pork ribs for 3 days. You better believe they were good after 3 days. You hear the motor starting to pull. It's pulling everything. Here you see it. That's as tight as it can get based on the pressure it's set to. And then it will seal. We have our butter, our rosemary, our garlic, a little bit of pepper, a touch of salt, and there's it perfectly sealed in. And now all we do is put it in. That's it. It's as simple as that. So this will go in, I'll set a timer for 2 hours. We will come back in 1 hour to prepare everything else. But beyond that, in it goes. And I'll see you in an hour. Right, it's been an hour. We're going to set the timer again for another hour. Again, this is not something you want to do on a weeknight. It takes time. But we are going to make our pepper sauce. We're going to make our ultimate pepper sauce. This is my recipe. One I've adapted over a couple of different times. You know, I watch one guy, he does this, I watch another guy, he does that. I want to try this, I want to try that. So, we're going to put our cream in first, because why not? So, 500 ml of cream. Get that out of the road. Beef cube, or beef stock cube. Straight in the mix. In she goes. Some brandy. 1 cap. About a tablespoon of this stuff. Again, it's our Licum Key. So about tablespoon a bit to start with. Again, it's up to you how pepper you want to taste, how much you want to feel. And our last wee ingredient, mustard. Just a teaspoon. In a minute, but we'll just get that whole mixy mix just for now. And that we're going to put on the heat on the back low for pretty much the next hour, because we need to make our chips and our tobacco onions. But we'll make the chips first. You've seen me do that before. I'll be back cutting some potatoes. Just ticking along. Now, one thing to also note, I have changed from cooking in vegetable oil or sunflower oil to beef drippings, beef fat, beef tallow, whatever you want to call it. And absolutely best idea I ever had. There's guys in Northern Ireland back home in the galley, they use it, visit them in the summertime. Their food is amazing, it's excellent. Absolutely recommend it. You get a far, far cleaner, far, far tastier product. Now the only bad thing about using beef fat is it takes a wee bit more time to heat up, because it has to melt. But other than that, it's great. So, why do I like sous vide so much? You can never overcook. It's very, very simple, and it is set and forget. That is the key thing. I can turn this on and leave it alone. I can set this in for 10 hours. It's fine, it's great. Before you don't even have to defrost. You can take it straight from, I could take a steak straight from the freezer, straight in. Now it's going to take longer. It could take 3 hours. Add an hour for defrosting, plus an hour for cooking. But it's never, oh, what we got for dinner tonight? I forgot. Oh, I forgot to lift it out. Oh, we have to eat something else. Doesn't matter. Sous vide, in it goes. And that is the game changer. Yes, it's longer, but I mean, no defrosting, none of that. Just throw it in, away you go. What more could you ask for? And you cannot mess it up. Never. It's sitting here, it's been 130 degrees Fahrenheit, 54 degrees, well 54.4 degrees for the last 2 hours. No problem. And you don't have to wait to heat it up, because the water is not actually touching the food. You can use hot water from your tap. You can boil a kettle and start straight away. Why don't we use this more? Those chips in. I'm very bad for doing this. This is almost bubbling over. It's at the lowest setting. Just keep an eye on it. I was like, oh, it's only 500 ml, and the other pot's huge. I don't want to use the other pot. I might end up using the other pot in a minute. Just keep it on low and just keep an eye on it. Now, for our onions, we're doing tobacco onions. The best story I remember out this is actually from Boomer. He was telling me about one thing. I've cracked it. Dinger, I know how to do it. I've this sorted. Until you heard Linda the next day, his wife. She's calling him a crackpot. She says there was oil everywhere, everything was ruined. Nearly as bad as the time I made. That's bad as the time when I made onion rings in his ma's house. That's the story for whenever he comes on. We'll get him on someday soon, and he can tell you that story himself. We're just going to try and slice these nice and thin. Okay, sort of about 5 mil. $4 mil. You can have it. So all we're going to do now is just try and pull them apart. Get all the individual rings out as much as we can. Now these, the first time I ever actually had these, I'm pretty sure it was up in Portrush in the Harbour Bar. And yeah, they're just excellent. So that's our onion ready to go. Now we just need to make our mix. So start with our tray. About a cup of flour, a little bit of cayenne, should be about a teaspoon, a little bit of salt, about the same. So there it is there, we'll give it a wee mix. Get our onions, and there you go. And then we just lightly toss them. Now you want to make sure they're all fully covered. And then after this, we're going to go, these will go into the oil after we do the chips. As always, just to make sure you pull them apart. We want to make sure they're fully covered. And before we put them in the oil, make sure that they're not just, you want to give them a wee shake, get any excess off, and then throw them in. And that's them ready to go. So our chips are just about ready. We're going to lift them out, and then we'll go in with our onions. So we'll set these off for now. Okay, so onions. Just give them a little shake in the basket. Yeah, shake, shake, shake in the basket. So 190 for 5 to 10 minutes. So that wee buzzer means it's time to lift out our steak. So there you can see it after it's just come out. Now we're going to cut it open. Now our steak right now does not look so appetizing, as you can see. Now all we're going to do is just blot it dry. Okay, get all that moisture off the surface. Give it a flip. Do the same. You can, if you want, you can do this in a pan, bit of butter. Just fire, come on. Why not? So plenty of heat. You do a bit of the fat first. Say you just a ripping hot skillet, or look like a boss. So we'll plate up and we'll be back in a minute for you. And there is the final product. My mouth is watering just looking at it. I cannot wait to try this. The sous vide has done its job. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, we are just gonna go. It feels wrong. But that feels right. That is perfectly, that is perfectly medium rare. And a perfect steak. Every single time. So, until next time, more sous vide. I'm going to enjoy this. Bye-bye.